Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. Ladies and gentlemen, it's one of those rare days ever where it's warmer in the studios than outside because of the cold wave. But what we're going to focus tonight is not the weather. The question and the focus tonight is whether there are elements and people who could have saved a young 23-year-old's life on the very first day of 2023, but they gave their own priorities, their self-preservation, and perhaps somewhere the element of apathy more prominence than the responsibility, duty of saving the life of a human being. What we'll endeavor to do on this edition of The Right Stand, and especially in the first half, is to try and examine this entire saga and case from multiple vantage points. Let's try and understand this, ladies and gentlemen, through multiple aspects, and through the course of the next 20-odd minutes, we'll try and establish the various breakups or heads in this entire dragon hit saga around Anjali. Now, let's first look at the various perspectives. Who are the people, elements, or the multiple vantage points? The first aspect or the first point is, of course, Anjali herself, who was dragged to her death and brutally, a 23-year-old dragged over 12 kilometers. Only about 1/3 of her body was left after what had happened. Then, of course, the friend who was riding pillion, who started riding the bike at the hotel, but then was seen riding pillion, and who's the eyewitness who could have helped save Anjali's life but didn't. So what is her perspective? What is her role? And can we trust everything that she says? Then, of course, are the 5 accused in the car and the 2 others who then come to the fore. Now, among all of them, how many of them should be trusted, and did they deliberately try and change the evidence? Did they put their own self-preservation over the rescuing or saving of a human life? And if their motive was not to save a life, what does that tantamount to? If they knew they were dragging a human body or a human being under the chassis of their car, does that not tantamount to murder? These are questions that remain. The cops, had they acted like they should have on New Year's Day or any other day, could this life have been saved? Had they responded to calls earlier, could life have been saved? And what are the cops saying? Had they not gotten into the investigation like they have, would all these aspects have unraveled? Questions. And of course, last but not the least, is the mystery man who surfaced today. Today, day 6 after the entire incident, this person has surfaced. 7 p.m. in the evening, he's seen with the 2 girls. Who's this person? Have the cops identified? Let's try and understand this entire saga from all these perspectives, ladies and gentlemen. From all of these perspectives. First up, let's start with Anjali, the 23-year-old. What do we know? What do we know about the 23-year-old? We know the post-mortem report. The post-mortem report says 40 external injuries have been found. The forensic report says Anjali was stuck in the left tire of the Baleno. Also, what the post-mortem report says is that the death is due to shock and hemorrhage, whereas bloodstains behind the left tire of the car. Bloodstains were also found in other parts. Anjali's brain matter is missing. That's what the post-mortem report says. No evidence of Anjali being inside the car is what the forensic report says. Post-mortem says there is nothing to suggest sexual assault. So these are aspects that stand out. Then, further, the family has raised questions on the friend Nidhi. From day one, they've said that there is an attempt to perhaps malign the character of Anjali by Nidhi. Nidhi called Anjali to the hotel. It was Nidhi who called her. That's the first revelation. The second revelation is that Nidhi is to blame for everything because she called her there. It was a pre-planned murder is the other revelation that the family is trying to make, and a claim that they are making. Nidhi forced Anjali to do things. The family has gone further to say that. Try to pin Nidhi on the to blame. Some even question whether she was even there at the spot of the accident. We don't know Nidhi. Never met her. Another revelation is Nidhi's allegations are baseless, and of course Anjali never came home drunk. So the claim that wo puri tarah nashe mein thi, their family is questioned that, and action must be taken against Nidhi too, because if she was there, Why didn't she work to save her life? Now, we're getting more information, ladies and gentlemen, and that's news just coming through at this point. It's a news break here on the right stand, and exclusive information that Anjali's friend has spoken to CNN News 18, and this friend has revealed what happened that evening on the 31st of December at the hotel. The friend has said 2 rooms were booked there and they all consumed alcohol. He goes on to say that Nidhi and Anjali fought and left the hotel around 1:30 a.m. Listen to this conversation.
आपसे जानना चाहेंगे कि 31 दिसंबर को क्या हुआ था?
सर अंजलि मेरे पास फोन कर रही थी। वो मेरी फ्रेंड थी। मेरी उसकी दोस्ती खत्म हो रखी थी। 2-1 महीने से खत्म थे। मैं उससे बात नहीं कर रहा 2 महीने से। तो वो 31 तारीख को मेरे पास फोन कर रही थी। मैं नहीं जा रहा था। हम पार्टी कर रहे थे तो एक लड़का भेजती है वो। मैं 11:30 बजे जाता हूँ होटल में। मैं 11:30 बजे जाता हूँ, वहाँ पार्टी चल रही होती है, ये पीले खा रहे होते हैं। ठीक है सर, यहाँ पे मैं थोड़ी देर बैठता हूँ। थोड़ी देर बैठने के बाद हम चले जाते हैं। इनकी आपस में लड़ाई होने लग जाती है, निधि की और अंजलि की, पैसों के पीछे। निधि कहती है मेरे पैसे दे, जो मेरे पैसे लेने हैं मेरे पैसे दे। अंजलि अपनी चाबी मांग रही होती है। इनकी आपस में हाथापाई होती है। हम छुड़वाते हैं सर। छुड़वाने के बाद इनकी ये थोड़ी देर में नीचे चली जाती है। हम ऊपर ही बैठे रह जाते हैं। नीचे के नीचे फिर चली जाती है। अंजलि और निधि बैठे थे सर।
और बाकी कौन लोग थे?
बस।
तो ये एक ही कमरे में थे?
हाँ जी, हाँ, यार दोस्त थे जो हमारे यहीं के थे, ग्रुप के। हम सब थे सर।
तो हाँ, CCTV में दिख भी रही है 1:30 बजे के आसपास।
सर हाँ, इतने बजे लिख रही है, मुझे ध्यान नहीं है।
Now, so doesn't that open up a lot, ladies and gentlemen? This person says, and this is contrary to what Nidhi has claimed, that Nidhi and Anjali were fighting. Nidhi claimed that Anjali was actually fighting with some boyfriend of hers and it was not her. But these people are saying, we actually freed them. Chudaya humne usse. Nidhi was asking her for some money and she had kept the key of the scooty with her because she wanted the money. This is what the friend has said. So, does that not open a whole new ball game altogether? Anjali's friend on CNN News 18 has made these stark claims. Another friend of Anjali who has said that he knew Anjali but he broke all ties with her 2 years ago.
आप अंजलि को कब से जानते थे?
सर मैं 2 साल पहले से जानता था उसको। 2 साल पहले हमारी दोस्ती हुई थी। तो 2 साल पहले हमारी दोस्ती हुई थी, तो उसके बाद हमारा दोनों घर वालों का, इस अंजलि के घर वालों का और मेरे घर वालों का, तो अंजलि ने दोस्ती थी मेरी और अंजलि की, तो हमारा फैसला हो गया 2 साल पहले, राजीनामा हो गया था हमारा। तो अभी मेरी 1.5 साल पहले मेरी शादी हुई है। मेरा एक बच्चा है छोटा सा 1.5 महीने का। तो मैं अपनी छोटी सी दुकान करके यहाँ बैठा हूँ। मेरा इस केस से कोई लेना देना नहीं है। मेरा झूठा नाम लिया जा रहा है इस केस में। मेरा 2 साल पहले फैसला हो चुका है। उससे ना मेरी कोई दोस्ती 2 साल पहले थी, ना मेरा कोई मतलब था उससे, ना मेरा कुछ था उससे।
More twists and contradictions. Anvit Srivastava joining us live from the newsroom. Anvit, you've been tracking this case and every day there is a different contradiction. Nidhi can't be trusted now because she's been caught being economical with the truth and facts in 2 occasions. Once she said, "Mera phone toot gaya tha," but she asked for a charger from her neighbor. Second, here she said that she was fighting with her boyfriend, whereas eyewitnesses are saying they were fighting amongst each other and she was asking money from Anjali.
Correct. And Nidhi's statement is now under question. Even yesterday, when the police had when the police has recorded her statement, she had made some claims which the police said are not completely reliable. Also, one important thing to note, Anand, is that on that very night, like Anjali's friend also reiterated that all of them had been drinking. Nidhi's statement was recorded on Tuesday. Incident takes place on Sunday early morning. 2 days later, will Nidhi, who was drunk heavily on Sunday night, will she able to recall time by time exact incidents, how they unfolded? So her statement has been questionable since the very beginning. Now this new person who is seen in the CCTV footage, now he has also been identified. Police are saying that if required, his statement also be recorded. Now he has told police that he was the only person who had picked them up from near a metro station in Rohini and then had dropped them to a location which can be seen in CCTV footage. He had then left the spot, but the two women 3 minutes later are seen leaving that spot and going to the Oyo hotel. This is what the police have found. So this CCTV footage will also be instrumental to the case, because since the beginning police have been trying to stitch together the sequence of events, but still they are lacking.
Correct. So you're saying the mystery man has been identified. This mystery man says they picked them up from the station and dropped them up to this house. Who does this house belong to? This is around 7 p.m. As per the time records or what the sources are saying. Anvit, quickly just tell me, they reached the Oyo hotel room around 8:30. So what happened in those 1.5 hours? The family of Anjali is also saying the scooty doesn't belong to her. So whose scooty was it?
So this man had been contacted by Nidhi and Anjali. Both of them knew this man, and this man is one of their friends. He will also be called by the police. He is claiming that they had called him just to pick them up from the metro station and drop them to this location. After that, they leave for the Oyo. So the gap period, police are now trying to find from this man that on whose directions did he drop them there, and after that,
where did he drop them? Whose house was that? Where Nidhi was entering so confidently.
That is an area they have not come out and said on record whose house is it, but they would be finding out. So Nidhi was today again taken to the police station by the police. This is why they had taken her, because they want her to again join investigation and answer some of these questions. That because she is seen in the footage leading Anjali to that place.
Correct.
Whose house was it? What lane was it? And why did she then from there, as it can again be seen, she was the one who led Nidhi to the Oyo hotel. So Anjali to the Oyo hotel. So they want to know that where was Nidhi taking her, and if at all she was doing this on anyone's direction.
Correct. So Anvit, just stay with me. Through the course of this, we'll come to the mystery man. Now, this is the big development, ladies and gentlemen. We'll come back to that mystery man towards the latter half of this entire vantage point. But Anvit right now telling us that mystery man has also been identified and he's a friend of Anjali. So we'll bring that into the show in just a bit and go back to Anvit quickly towards the end. But right now, let's try and also understand how many charges and counter charges are coming through. Now, eyewitness Nidhi continues to remain under the lens if we look at it from Anjali's vantage point, her family's vantage point, because they believe it is Nidhi who led her into all of this. Nidhi cannot be just an eyewitness, she has to be made an accused, they say. Nidhi claims to be Anjali's friend. Family says, we don't even know who Nidhi is. We have no clue. Then saw Anjali being dragged by a car. CCTV shows Nidhi reached home at 1:37 a.m. So the time codes themselves, and the family believes she was not even there at the accident spot. Anjali was driving the scooter. CCTV shows Nidhi was the one who left the hotel riding the scooter. Then when did they swap? What happened there? Why did they swap? Anjali was in an inebriated state is what Nidhi claims. Family says she's never had alcohol. Now another witness says everybody consumed liquor at the hotel. Then met her boyfriend at the hotel. That's what Nidhi has said. Where is Anjali's boyfriend? There is no boyfriend at all. She then said she was fighting with her boyfriend. She also claimed that there is no boyfriend fight. Witnesses are now saying they were fighting amongst each other. Anjali and her boyfriend fought. Why did Anjali and her boyfriend fight is another question that remains. So these are aspects which come into focus. And then, is Nidhi's version now reliable? Each time she said something, she's contradicted herself. Something doesn't add up, ladies and gentlemen. You get the feeling, don't you? Why didn't Nidhi inform cops about the accident? Was her phone destroyed enough that she couldn't call anyone from the accident spot? Anjali was drunk is what she claims. What about herself? Why did Nidhi remain silent for 3 whole days? She asked a neighbor for a C-type charger, phone charge pe laga, but she didn't call the cops. Why didn't Nidhi inform Anjali's family? Why didn't Nidhi's family inform the cops? All of these aspects remain. And now we're going to bring you another perspective, ladies and gentlemen. It's the grandmother. Nidhi's grandmother's reaction is important. Listen to this.
हमें बताया गया पड़ोसियों ने कि निधि की नानी जाया करती थी मिलने निधि से। जाया करती हैं आप?
जाया करते।
निधि भी आती है यहाँ?
हाँ, नहीं हम आते हैं। कभी कदार आ गई।
क्यों नहीं आती?
पता है, बेदखल कर रखी है ना, फिर भी आ जाती एक आधी बार, हम उसको बजा देते थे।
आप भगा देते थे, क्यों बेदखल कर रखा है उसे?
पता नहीं, वो तो उनके घर के बताएंगे जो कर रखा है।
So the nani says she was a pariah. बेदखल कर रखा था. Anshul now joins us on this story. Anshul, so Nidhi didn't have great equations within her own family. Whatever she was doing did not go well with the family. But the nani also says that Nidhi told her mother that there was another girl. Whereas Nidhi said, मैंने दूसरी लड़की के बारे में किसी को नहीं बताया. So Nidhi can't be trusted. Can her version be trusted then?
Well, definitely the entire statement that Nidhi has recorded on the third day after the accident under section 164 of the CRPC, that entire statement has many contradictions, and that is the reason why Nidhi was again called in for questioning today as well. Because continuously whatever Nidhi has been saying, that cannot be trusted, and that is what the police is taking whatever she has said with a
Well, Anshul has been up and about right through the day, so we've just lost the connection with him. But something that Anshul is back with us. Yes, Anshul.
So yes, remember Nidhi was not actually.
I've lost you again. We've lost Anshul again. So we'll try and connect with him again. Let's just move forward quickly. So somewhere, ladies and gentlemen, this entire aspect of Nidhi's version, the Nidhi angle does not add up. At every point, she's the one taking the initiative. If you look at the 7 p.m. Footage that's come out, Nidhi is the one leading, entering the house first. Nidhi is the one who booked the hotel room. Nidhi is the one who left the hotel riding the scooty. Nidhi is the one with whom we can see Anjali having an argument. Nidhi is the one who's reaching her home safe and sound. Nidhi is the one who's making a claim that Anjali was inebriated. Nidhi is the one who says that she was being dragged by the car and she was shouting for help. Yet she didn't call the cops or she didn't say anything. Nidhi is the one who kept for 3 days. So these are all aspects which are quite shocking. There's more here on the right stand. Another exclusive input. CNN News 18 now tracking the murder probe. Now we've accessed CCTV footage in which the accused can be seen speeding the car despite knowing that Anjali was stuck. Look how they are driving and the roads that they were driving in. This is in Rohini itself, ladies and gentlemen. If you look at the footage, you see how bad the roads are. You have a human being stuck under your car and you're driving through a bumpy, rugged road, muddy road. Have a look at the footage. Does that not show you and give you proof, and does not give you the input? If you look at it, that they had to know. They had to know that. You'll see it in the frame. And we'll go across to Deepak Bisht, who's actually accessed the CCTV footage. Those lights are of a truck. As the truck passes, you look at the road, how bumpy it is, how rugged it is. And there from the side, no vehicle can go above 20-25 kilometers because the roads are so bad. But look at how that car is going to speed from the left. That's the grey Baleno that will come right beside it. It will come speeding from there and it will go right over this rugged road. There you go. Those lights that are now coming, you will see the car coming through now along with beside a truck, overtaking a truck from the left. There you see the truck lights at the top of your screen, and from the left hand side, that's the Baleno. That's the grey Baleno which is speeding on that rugged road. Look at it speeding on that rugged road. And are you trying to say that the driver did not know that there was a human being under the chassis? Look at Deepak's ground report.
ये सड़क काफी उबड़ खाबड़ है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर इसलिए दिखाना ये जरूरी है, ये सड़क उबड़ खाबड़ है और आप तस्वीरों में देखेंगे न्यूज 18 इंडिया आपको एक्सक्लूसिव ये तस्वीरें इसलिए दिखा रहा है क्योंकि आरोपियों की गाड़ी की रफ्तार इसमें दिख रही है। 2:15 का समय है, क्योंकि 2:05 के आसपास ये एक्सीडेंट कृष्ण विहार बुद्ध विहार के पास किया गया था। उसके बाद आरोपियों ने कंझावाला वाले इस रूट पर जौंती तक गाड़ी को भगाया था। देखिए यहाँ पर जो गाड़ियां हैं अमूमन हल्की हो रही है, कोई भी गाड़ी आ रही है, लेकिन आरोपियों की जो गाड़ी थी वो बहुत रफ्तार से थी। उबड़ खाबड़ ये सड़क है और अब आरोपियों की जो गाड़ी आएगी उसको आप तस्वीरों में देखेंगे, क्योंकि जो एक्सीडेंट था वो बहुत खतरनाक था। देखिए लाइट आ रही है, ये आरोपियों की जो बलेनो गाड़ी थी उसकी रफ्तार है और ये यहाँ से ये देखिए ये ट्रक आया, अब इसके बगल से ये गाड़ी रफ्तार से आ रही है, बहुत तेजी से रफ्तार से गाड़ी आई थी, धूल उड़ाते हुए जा रही है। देखिए आप तस्वीरों में देखेंगे बलेनो गाड़ी जो है आरोपियों की, ये पूरी धूल उड़ाते हुए जा रही है क्योंकि उन्हें डर था।
गुनाह छुपाने की कोशिश बार बार करते रहे दीपक बिष्ट ऑफ न्यूज 18 गेटिंग दैट। वी आल्सो हैव आनंद तिवारी हु हैज बीन ट्रैकिंग दिस स्टोरी। आनंद, ये हो ही नहीं सकता कि इनको पता नहीं था। तो अगर जानबूझकर किसी को इन्होंने घसीटा और रौंद दिया तो वो 302 क्यों नहीं हो सकता? मर्डर क्यों नहीं है?
जी देखिए आनंद, बिल्कुल दिल्ली पुलिस इन तमाम थ्योरी पे काम कर रही है। पुलिस का कहना है कि विक्टिम को भी न्याय मिलना चाहिए और आरोपी भी बेवजह जो है वो जेल ना जाए 302 में, इसलिए पुलिस जो है वो अभी 304 की थ्योरी को पूरी तरह से कोर्ट में पुख्ता करना चाहती है कि जो 304 लगाया है उसके पूरे सबूत जो है वो इकट्ठा किए जाएं। रही बात 302 की, उसके लिए लीगल ओपिनियन ली जा रही है कि क्या कोई इंटेंशन था, क्योंकि देखिए कल दिल्ली पुलिस के बहुत सीनियर अधिकारियों से हमने मुलाकात की थी, उनका कहना था कि अगर 302 हम लगाते हैं तो उसके लिए हमारे को एक मोटिव होना चाहिए और एक इंटेंशन होना चाहिए, जो इसमें नजर अब तक हमें नहीं आ रहा है, जो पुलिस सोर्स बता रहे हैं। अभी तक हमें लग रहा है कि एक एक्सीडेंट हुआ था, एक्सीडेंट होने के बाद जानबूझ के लड़की पे गाड़ी चढ़ाई गई, ये बात भी अभी तक पुलिस जो मान रही है मोटे मोटे तौर पर, लेकिन गाड़ी से लड़की को घसीटते हुए ले गए, ये कहानी केवल आरोपियों के बयान या कोई ऐसी चीज से ही प्रूफ हो पाएगी जिससे कि पुलिस कोर्ट में इस बात को साबित कर पाए। और आनंद, इस पूरे घटनाक्रम में सबसे महत्वपूर्ण वो 5 से 6 मिनट है जब ये लड़की का एक्सीडेंट हुआ अंजलि का, और उस दौरान जो अंजलि वहां पर मौजूद थी, जो दिल्ली पुलिस के सीनियर अधिकारी उन्होंने न्यूज 18 इंडिया को बताया है कि जो लड़की ने कोर्ट में मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने 164 के बयान दिए हैं वो इस कहानी में सबसे ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है। और जब चार्जशीट पुलिस इस पूरे मामले में करेगी तो उसमें बहुत सारे खुलासे हो सकते हैं। हालांकि पुलिस ने भी कैमरे पे दावा किया था कि लड़की के मजिस्ट्रेट के बयान की बहुत सारी जानकारी उन्हें भी नहीं है
जी।
तो अब देखना ही होगा कि लड़की ने जो न्यूज 18 इंडिया के कैमरे पे भी एक्सक्लूसिव आई थी, उसने मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने क्या सच बयां किया, क्योंकि उसने कैमरे पे निधि ने क्योंकि न्यूज 18 के कैमरे पे लाइव बैठ के ये कहा था कि लड़के और लड़कियां यानी हम लोग और जो आरोपी है वो एक दूसरे को नहीं जानते थे। हमारी गाड़ी का एक्सीडेंट हुआ, उसके बाद मैं डर गई, मुझे चोट आई और उसके बाद मैंने पुलिस को फोन नहीं किया और मैं अपने घर चली गई। लेकिन उसने हमारे इंटरव्यू में सबसे लास्ट में ये बात जरूर कही थी कि इन्होंने जानबूझ के लड़की के ऊपर गाड़ी चढ़ाई है। पुलिस को इसी चीज को प्रूव करना है कि अगर लड़की के ऊपर जानबूझ के गाड़ी चढ़ाई है तो क्या वो एक इंटेंशनल के तौर पे चढ़ाई है या वो डर गए थे कि लड़की एक्सीडेंट हो गया है तो वो वहां से भागना चाह रहे थे। इसी में पूरी पुलिस की थ्योरी टिकी हुई है।
क्योंकि उसने ये भी कहा कि अगर मैं आगे जाती तो मुझे भी कुचल देते, मैं आगे जाती तो मुझे भी कुचल देते। आनंद, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग डिटेल दैट यू हैव सेड दैट शी हैज the eyewitness Nidhi has recorded her statement in front of a magistrate under 164 CRPC, and the cops are telling CNN News 18 and News 18 India that her revelations are shocking, far more, and the dimensions could be very different. That's what we've been told. So very interesting. Let's quickly get to the flowchart of the 7 accused. There are 7 accused in this case, and there are reasons why. 5 accused, main accused in the car, and 2 of them who are abettors, who tried to not just bury evidence but also shield these accused, those who were in the car. Amit Khanna was driving the car. He didn't have a license. Mowed down Anjali. He is the one who was driving all along. Krishan was present in the car. He's the second accused. Kept driving around, and he was part of the car. Did not say let's stop the car and free the human being stuck under. Mithun was also present in the car. They are all inebriated, complicit in the crime. Then Manoj Mittal also present in the car, booked for culpable homicide. Then you have they've all been arrested now. Then you had Deepak Khanna. Deepak Khanna is the one who told the police he was driving because he has a valid license. Deepak Khanna connected to Amit Khanna. And of course, the 7th accused, who will come to replace Ankush Khanna. So Deepak Khanna, Ankush Khanna, Amit Khanna are related here. And Ashutosh, he is the one who had received the Baleno as a gift from the original owner, who is also somewhere related to him. So the car belongs to another owner who gifted it to Ashutosh. Ashutosh gave the keys to these people for that night, and Ashutosh was the one seen in the CCTV camera waiting for the car to come and then trying to park it and of course reduce or perhaps erase critical evidence. What the probe revealed so far from the cops, let's quickly look at it. First, and as we understand, the accused did not know Anjali. That's the first part. That's what the probe is saying. 2 more accused involved in the accident. 7 accused have been arrested. Accused tampered with the evidence. Accused Amit was driving the Baleno, and Deepak charged because he was driving with the license and he tried to pose as the person driving the license. So they tried to again obfuscate facts. Accused statements are in contradiction. Anjali wasn't sexually assaulted. Nidhi's mental assessment needs to be done. But she's now recorded her statement under 164 CRPC. That's what Anand Tiwari just told us. Big development. Legal hurdle in filing a murder case. The courts have to decide whether 302 is merited, because the cops first have to uphold and upheld and justify 304. Then the Delhi police also admits to lapses. Sources are telling CNN News 18. First one, lapses by the cops on the beat, deployed at the pickets. Admission 2, lapses on part of the PCR team because they didn't respond to the calls, distress calls. Lapses in monitoring surveillance feed because you can see the Baleno actually behind the PCR van. They didn't notice something amiss. And systemic issues of the PCR functioning, and of course, search operations only after a third call and much too later. And for the first 48 hours, they didn't even find out who the eyewitness was. The cops really need a crack for their lack of functioning early on. Anvit Srivastava back with us. The cops themselves stupefied now. If she has recorded a statement with the magistrate and cops are saying kuch baatein to hame bhi nahi pata, they still have not been able to find out those 6 minutes ka footage. So where is the surveillance? Where is the monitoring?
Yeah, and it is a big question on policing, but there still are lapses. It's been 4-5 days to the investigation. There are still lapses. Police have not been able to establish the sequence of events completely. Even after 5 days, they do not know what happened when the two vehicles collided. They only have Nidhi saying she's the only witness in the case. They are just going by what her version is, because the 4 occupants of the car, they are accused in this case, and Nidhi, now turns out that her statement is also questionable. Also, Anand, one important thing that police in this case, the crucial point is that whether or not, entire case depends on that, if these men had any intention of deliberately running over Anjali, or they did it in order to escape, like Anand Tiwari also mentioned. This is one thing police have not been able to establish, because see, these men are accused in this case. They have been charged with culpable homicide not amounting to murder and causing death due to negligence. These are serious allegations, serious charges. These are non-bailable charges. So police wants to make sure if 302 is to be added, like the family had been claiming, police wants to make sure that when they charge sheet this case in 302, it stands valid in the court when the trial begins. Because
the other part is, see, the cops have to then prove to the court that nobody knew. 5 people sitting in that car with 5 people, the ground clearance of the Baleno would have gone further down. That's what would have happened. It's science, and they did not know for 12 whole kilometers that a human being is stuck under their car. So they are trying to prove whether they got scared and they wanted to make their escape from there. But if they knew that somebody was stuck, they didn't stop. What does that rent amount to, Anvit? That's a big question. Just stay on with me. Quickly, I just want to also bring to our viewers this mystery man angle, which Anvit just threw some light on. This mystery man surfaced today, ladies and gentlemen. This is the latest CCTV footage that we accessed, and he is seen dropping these 2 girls at 7 p.m. at a house. We don't know whose it is. The person getting off first is Nidhi in the red jacket, and the light pink jacket is Anjali, who continues to have a conversation with this mystery man. Nidhi is actually the one running inside that house. Anjali stands there to have a conversation. She's seen handing something to this to this mystery man, and then he zooms off in what again looks like a scooty or an Activa, and that's what he goes ahead. What are the questions that emerge? Let's quickly get into those questions and then bring back Anvit. Have the cops identified the mystery man somewhere? That question seems to be answered yes. If yes, have the cops probed this mystery man? Did Nidhi inform cops about this mystery man? Do Anjali and Nidhi both know this mystery man? Who called this mystery man? Anjali or Nidhi? And did the mystery man join the party at the hotel? That's the critical part. Let's quickly go across with this exclusive news break, ladies and gentlemen, that this mystery man has been identified as Anjali's friend. And sources are saying he will be summoned by the cops to get more answers. Let's go back to Anvit, who joined us with these details. Anvit, so he's been identified. You say that Anjali called him because they wanted a drop from the metro station to this address. Whose address is that? Who's this friend and why did she call him only? And did he join the party later?
has just surfaced today. Police could share some details with us, which are that Nidhi and Anjali both were aware of this man. This man knew both the women. We asked police, which women had actually called him. They have said that it is a part of investigation. They'll be approaching this man. They'll be trying to know some of the answers from him because there are many unanswerable, questions which are still pending. So they would want to know 2-3 things. That one, which of the women had called him, whether he joined them at a party or not, because that will police had been planning to probe, trying to probe since the beginning whether these occupants of the car had any connection with these two women, any previous connection. They have earlier also probed the two men who had joined them at the hotel. It turned out that they did not have any links with this person, these occupants of the car. But this man, this mystery man who has now appeared, he might have any connection, and that can lead police to clues which can finally help them decide whether it was a deliberate attempt to kill Anjali or not.
Right.
Also, this man, we can see as in the footage that Anjali stays back and she's talking to this man.
Correct.
It clearly shows that they had something to do previously, because she stays and she hands over him something, and then she goes inside and this man also speeds away.
Correct.
So, and it is also seen clearly that Nidhi is the one who is leading these two to that house. She goes inside, she comes out, and 3 minutes later both the women, they head to the Oyo hotel. So Nidhi's questioning is also important. So important is this man's questioning, that who had called him and whether or not he was at the party and he had anything to do with the occupants of the car.
Right. Thank you for that, Anvit. To all our viewers, ladies and gentlemen, sir bhanna raha hai, because that's what they say here. If I were to use the colloquial language, because there are just so many dynamics here, and somewhere one feels there's much more to it than meets the eye, as the family and well-wishers have been claiming. Will the cops be able to unearth that? What is it that Nidhi has told the magistrate under 164 CRPC? Some of the questions that arise, let's also look at some of the other big questions, the larger ones. Given the entire twists and turns this entire case has gone through, will Anjali actually get justice? Or will it all somewhere be lost in translation? Under which section should the brutes be booked? Section 304A or Section 302? Which are you inclined towards? The cops are saying 304A pehle proof to kare. Should Nidhi be punished by the law for failing a friend and also not doing her duty as a citizen of the country? Will errant cops be pulled up for early lapse in the probe? All of this is important. But ladies and gentlemen, be it Anjali, be it the mystery man, be it Nidhi, don't forget the brutes. These are the brutes. Deepak, Krishan, Manoj, Mithun. And you also have Amit, Ashutosh and Ankush. Because they knew what they have done. There were others who wanted to cover this up. They are the ones who should be punished for taking the life of a 23-year-old. We take a very, very short break here. Stay with us. When we come back, it's the big debate around Tamil Nadu. Tamilagam, the renaming row stirred by the governor. Is it just about changing the name, or is it trying to change the political ideology down south in Tamilagam? Stay with us.